Have you ever stopped to wonder how the Roman Empire, one of the most powerful civilizations in history, rose to power and then fell into oblivion? Our story begins in 753 BC, in a small Italian city-state known as Rome. A humble beginning, you might say, for what would become one of the most extraordinary empires in history. From this modest start, Rome's influence would stretch across the Mediterranean and beyond, leaving a lasting legacy that continues to shape our world today. But how did this transformation occur? How did a small city-state evolve into a formidable powerhouse that would stand the test of time? The answer lies in the establishment of the Roman Republic in 509 BC. This radical new form of government marked a pivotal turning point, replacing the traditional monarchy with a system that allowed for greater citizen participation. But Rome's rise to power was not just about political innovation, it was also about military might. The conquest of Italy, which began in earnest in the 4th century BC, demonstrated Rome's military prowess and strategic acumen. One by one, neighboring city-states fell under Rome's control, each victory expanding the Republic's territory and bolstering its resources. Yet, Rome's ambitions were not limited to Italy. By the 3rd century BC, Rome had set its sights on the Mediterranean. A series of wars, known as the Punic Wars, waged against the powerful city-state of Carthage, marked the beginnings of Rome's Mediterranean dominance. These conflicts not only showcased Rome's military strength, but also cemented its position as a formidable force to be reckoned with. In the end, it was a combination of political innovation, military might, and strategic vision that propelled Rome from a small city-state to a global powerhouse. The seeds of greatness were sown early in the Republic, setting the stage for an empire that would redefine the world. From a collection of mud huts along the river Tiber, Rome's reach extended to the farthest corners of the known world. This was largely due to the ambitious endeavors of Julius Caesar and his successor Augustus. Both leaders took Rome from a burgeoning republic to a formidable empire, their achievements setting the stage for what we now consider the Golden Age of Rome. Under Julius Caesar, Rome expanded beyond the Italian peninsula, reaching as far as Britain and Africa. His military victories brought immense wealth to the city, allowing for grand architectural projects such as the Forum of Caesar. But Caesar's rule was not without controversy. His dictatorial style, while effective, led to his downfall. Yet his death did not halt Rome's rise, but paved the way for his adopted son Augustus to take the reins. Augustus, Rome's first emperor, ushered in an era of peace and prosperity known as the Pax Romana. Spanning over 200 years, this period saw Rome at its most stable and secure. The empire thrived, its boundaries stretching from the sun-baked sands of Egypt to the misty moors of Britain. Trade flourished, and the standard of living improved. Yet Rome's golden age was not just about expansion and wealth. It was a time of cultural blossoming. Rome's architectural prowess was unrivaled, with structures like the Colosseum and the Pantheon showcasing their innovative use of concrete and the arch. This era also marked significant advancements in art, with the creation of realistic portraiture and intricate mosaics. Moreover, Rome's contributions to law and language have had a lasting impact. The principles of Roman law, such as the presumption of innocence and the right to a fair trial, have influenced legal systems worldwide. The Latin language too has left an indelible mark, serving as the progenitor of the Romance languages and enriching the vocabulary of countless others. For several centuries, Rome was the shining beacon at the heart of the known world. Its influence was vast, its culture rich, and its power unrivaled. Indeed, the Golden Age of Rome was a time of extraordinary growth and achievement, shaping not only an empire but the world as we know it today. Scene script. Yet, even the mightiest of empires are not immune to decline. What were the signs that the Roman Empire was beginning to crumble? As we delve deeper into the twilight years of this colossal civilization, it becomes clear that Rome was not toppled by a single blow, but rather eroded by a myriad of challenges. At the heart of Rome's decline was political instability. The empire had grown too large, too diverse, too unwieldy to govern effectively. Emperors came and went with alarming frequency, some assassinated, others overthrown. This lack of stable leadership created a power vacuum that sowed seeds of discontent and chaos throughout the empire. The economy was another major factor contributing to Rome's decline. Once a beacon of wealth and prosperity, the empire began to buckle under the weight of its own success. Over-reliance on slave labor stifled technological advancement. Rampant inflation, exacerbated by the devaluation of Roman currency, led to widespread financial instability. The divide between the rich and the poor grew ever wider, and the middle class began to disappear. Military overspending was another nail in the coffin of the Roman Empire. Maintaining Rome's vast armies and protecting its sprawling borders required immense resources. The cost of defense was a constant drain on the empire's coffers, leaving little for infrastructure, education, or social programs. Perhaps the most significant sign of Rome's impending fall was the division of the empire into East and West. This split, while initially intended to make governance more manageable, instead created rivalries and divisions that weakened the empire from within. Meanwhile, external pressures mounted. Barbarian invasions from the north became increasingly frequent and destructive. The Romans, stretched thin and struggling with internal issues, found it harder and harder to fend off these relentless attacks. The empire that had once been invincible was now showing signs of vulnerability. The cracks were beginning to show, and Rome, the eternal city, was on a path towards an inevitable decline. The fall of Rome was not an overnight event, it was a gradual process, marked by significant events and turning points. Picture a juggernaut, a veritable titan of civilization, brought to its knees not by a single catastrophic event, but a slow, inexorable decline. The Western Roman Empire, once the epitome of power and grandeur, began to crumble under its own weight. One of the most poignant moments in this decline was the sack of Rome by the Visigoths in 410 AD. This was a devastating event, shaking the Roman world to its core. Rome, the invincible city, the heart of the empire, had been breached and ravaged by a barbarian tribe, revealing the empire's vulnerabilities for all to see. Yet Rome wasn't done. It struggled on, limping and battered, but still standing. However, another blow was soon to come. In 455 AD, the Vandals, another Germanic tribe, sacked Rome once again. This attack was even more brutal and thorough than the Visigoths, leaving the once great city in ruins. In the midst of this chaos, the Western Roman Empire was losing its grip on its territories, its power waning with each passing year. The final nail in the coffin came in 476 AD, when the last Roman emperor, a young boy named Romulus Augustus, was forced to abdicate. Romulus Augustus, a name so grand, echoing the first king of Rome and the revered title of Augustus, yet attached to a boy emperor who could do nothing to prevent the fall. His abdication marked the end of more than 1,000 years of Roman rule, symbolizing the end of an era. And so the curtain fell on the Roman Empire, leaving behind a legacy that continues to shape our world today. The grandeur that was Rome may have faded into the annals of history, but its influence, its echoes, still reverberate in our modern world. As we look back on the rise and fall of the Roman Empire, what lessons can we draw from its history? The Roman Empire, once an unmatched powerhouse, left an enduring legacy that continues to shape our world today. From the pillars of law to the cornerstones of governance, from the arches of architecture to the language we speak, Rome's influence is pervasive and undeniable. Let's consider the legal systems of many Western societies, which owe their foundations to Roman law. The principles of justice, fairness, and the notion that the accused is innocent until proven guilty are Roman in origin. Even the concept of legal representation was pioneered by the Romans. In terms of governance, the concept of a republic where power rests with the citizens and their elected representatives was a significant contribution of Rome. The Roman Senate, though not democratic in the way we understand it today, was a precursor to modern parliaments and congresses around the globe. The Roman architectural style, characterized by grandeur and functionality, continues to inspire modern designs. The iconic arch, the domes, and the aqueducts are all Roman innovations that we still use and admire today. And then there's language. Latin, the language of Rome, is the forebear of the Romance languages and has profoundly influenced English. Many of our words and phrases have Latin roots, and Roman literature and philosophy continue to enrich our intellectual landscape. Yet the Roman Empire also offers cautionary tales. The dangers of overextension, both militarily and administratively, are starkly evident in Rome's decline. Political corruption, economic instability, and the widening gap between the rich and the poor are all factors that contributed to the downfall of this once mighty empire. The rise and fall of the Roman Empire, a story of unmatched power and inevitable decline, continues to echo through the ages, reminding us of the transient nature of human achievements. Its story serves as a constant reminder that empires rise and fall, but the lessons they leave behind endure.